So I'm here at Oak Hill Cemetery. This is the post mausoleum here in the background, and I'm kind of in the older section of the cemetery here. I've done a lot of videos here at Oak Hill Cemetery. If you've followed my channel for a while, you've seen a lot of them, and the different history stories are more compartmentalized and researched, and there's going to be a lot of photos and that sort of thing in those sorts of videos. But this one, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do like a walking tour around Oak Hill Cemetery and just show you the space as I walk around through it and give you as much history as I remember right off the top of my head without going into so much detail as I do in my normal videos, but more or less to give you a feel for the cemetery itself. It is January 1st, first day of the year, so I thought I would come out here and do a video. It is a little bit cold, so we're going to get going. So come along with me on this walking tour of Oak Hill Cemetery. So why don't I start with where I was standing. This is Walter Woolnow's tombstone, and he was a newspaper man in Battle Creek and also known for doing a lot of work with promoting abolitionism throughout the region through his newspaper. He was also a good friend of Erastus Hussey, and together they were the representatives that went to Jackson and helped found the Republican Party. There's a lot of other interesting history in this part. This is not the oldest section. The older part of Oak Hill is going to be over this way, which we'll go over that way in a minute, that way and up the hill. But there's the post mausoleum right there, and I've shown that in a lot of videos. I'll get a little closer to it. Now, in these sections, when you talk about the old section of the cemetery, they're typically going to be a lot of your older graves, but they're intermixed with a lot of new headstones. Like you see the one right over here, that's a newer headstone, but there's a lot of older ones adjacent to it. So C.W. Post and his wife are the only two people buried in that mausoleum over there. But I want to go this way because this direction is what is typically referred to as the older section of the cemetery. And on the older maps of Oak Hill, these were the first plats, and then they added more as time went on. There's still plenty of plots out here at Oak Hill Cemetery if somebody's interested in buying one. And it is colder, but you can see there's a lot of newer headstones. Like this is 1942, died in the 60s. But some of the older ones are going to be on this plot right here, where you see this land, where they see this road. On the other side of this road, these are a lot of the older graves, and you'll see over that way up on the hill is Ellen White's grave. We can walk over there and take a look at that here in a second. So this is the James and Ellen White historic marker. It is one of the main historic markers in Oak Hill Cemetery. It tells a story of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and they are the founders, and their site is right here. This is a pretty big historic site in a lot of ways. They were the founders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and they have frequent tours that come through. So that's that here. So leaving the White Memorial, you come on up the road here, and this first stop that we're going to make up here is the grave marker of Sans McCamley. He is the founder of Battle Creek, or considered the father of Battle Creek. He was the one that first envisioned the mill race that established the town. And his headstone is right over here. It's actually a big monument. There's a lot of inscriptions on the side of it, but he and his wife Eliza are buried right here. You can see Sans McCamley. It says Sans McCamley, projector of the city of Battle Creek in 1835. And over next to it is this other marker. Projector of the city of Battle Creek, 1835. And that is right next to his monument here. These flags, by the way, are Seventh-day Adventist flags, indicating pioneers in history of the Adventist Church. You'll see them throughout the cemetery. Now, over that way, I'm going to take you over that way in a minute. I want to show you a murderer's grave, but we'll come back to that in a minute. This mausoleum right ahead is the Nichols Mausoleum. John Nichols and his son Edwin were the two prominent industrialists. So this is Isaac Hickman's grave. He is a Revolutionary War as part of the Hickman family here. The other Revolutionary War veteran is really close by. He is right up here. And it's one of these two markers. This is Moses Hall. And he was a Revolutionary War soldier in his day. And Tolman Hall is also buried here. That's one of his sons. So leaving Moses Hall's grave, we come by David McCamley. He's a member of the McCamley family. He's the son of John McCamley. Alonzo Noble, he was one of the early merchants in Battle Creek, was born in Richmond, Vermont. And this is his big monument right here. So now I'm coming down the road, same road that I came on back from here, all the way back. And I'm going to take you to the first person that was buried in Oak Hill Cemetery. So this is the first person buried here, is Sarah Cox. One is the headstone of Leonard Starkweather and his two wives. You can see here it says Leonard Starkweather on it. He's right next to the Cox Memorial, which is the first person buried here. But Leonard Starkweather, an interesting story, he murdered one of his wives, and he is buried in the same plot as the murdered wife. The wife that he murdered is right here, Sally Starkweather. So he went to prison for 8 years. He got away with it on a charge of manslaughter, and had good attorneys. They got him off, got the charges reduced from first-degree murder. He beat her to death with a baseball bat. So if you're interested in reading about this story, it is in my book that is coming out called Victorian Southwest Michigan True Crime. And that is coming out March 11th of this year, and his story is one of the stories I tell in that book. Now let's walk on over here, because there's some interesting markers that have a big significance to Battle Creek. And that is Milton Barney, who is one of the Barney family from Barney's Tavern. They are right here. And I believe Nathaniel was the father, and this is one of his sons. Yeah, Nathaniel's right here. This is the father, Nathaniel Barney. So, very close. A lot of history right here in this section of the old area of Oak Hill Cemetery. So there's a lot more I can show you. I'll probably have to do a follow-up video. Ran into a lot of cold weather problems with my camera. So I'm going to end off this video pretty short, but I just kind of wanted to show you just within a few minutes walk, there's a lot of history here. And these are just some stories that I threw together offhand for you to hear about. And I'll do some more of these short little walks through Oak Hill Cemetery as time goes on. So that's going to conclude today's journey through history, walking through Oak Hill Cemetery. If you'd like to get signed up to get an email notification of my book that's coming out, Victorian Southwest Michigan True Crime, I'll put the link in the show note descriptions of this video. And also, I will be having a pre-order link pretty soon, so stay tuned for future announcements on that. I don't have that set up yet, otherwise I'd share that as well. But this is just a quick tour through Oak Hill Cemetery of some of the markers just in the old section right here. I had to put my hat and gloves on as I started to get really cold in the filming of this. So hope to bring you a lot more of these little short videos and just give you an interest to come on out and walk around some of the cemeteries in your neighborhood or your area, or if you live in the Battle Creek area, come out and just see some of the history in this magnificent outdoor museum. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.